Oh, this is going to be another late video. What's going on, everybody? It's me, Charlie, back again with another TFNation video. Today we're going to be talking about TFNation 2026 with my hopes, my fears, my predictions, and also just actually giving me a chance to look through the programme, run through it all, and just have a general bit rundown of the convention before the con actually goes ahead and kicks off later on this week. I'm recording this on Monday 27th. I'm using my laptop just to have a little look at a few bits and pieces, so I'm going to keep looking down. That's what I'm looking at. Monday 27th of July is today. The con kicks off on Friday, so like this video is probably not going to go up to like 1 or 2 days before. It's going to be a very, very quick one. It's just been a manic year. There's been so much happening, so much going on. I could sit here all day and just ramble on about everything that's happened this year and everything that's been going on, but really I thought, you know what, I just need to just turn the camera on, get the vlog on in the background and just kind of crack on and just talk a little bit about it to you guys, because there is a lot to cover and I want to try and make it quick today, so let's get right into it. Off the top of my head, I'm just going to kind of go through some like the hopes and fearsy kind of questions that people kind of bring up, people like Soundwave SG1 normally kind of mention in their videos. Stuff like, what time will we be getting there? So I'm going to be kicking the convention off a little bit earlier, and on Wednesday night I'm going to go see my girlfriend, and then kind of gearing up for the Thursday morning, which I'll be going over there maybe anywhere between sort of like 12ish and 2 o'clock sort of time. What are my hopes and what are my fears? I always find hopes and fears is a kind of really weird one, because there's never really anything that like, you know, hope that I have a good time, hope everyone else around me has a good time, hope that I always catch up with all the awesome people that I always tend to meet at the conventions, hope that I get some cool stuff, hope that you guys get some cool stuff, hope that I get some cool robots, hope everyone has a good time, and just hope everything fits in the suitcase. They're like the main things. Fears that a train gets delayed, fears that nothing fits in the suitcase at the end, and also fears that we get a massive heat wave, because it's not even a heat wave now and I'm already kind of melting and I don't really love this heat. So diving into the convention then, obviously in case you don't know, it's going to be happening Friday the 31st to Sunday the 2nd of August over at the Hilton Metropole in Birmingham. I believe it's still Europe's largest Transformers convention. It certainly was at one point. I know there's a few that keep coming up here and there, and other different TFNation events. As far as I know, this is still the UK's, and definitely the UK's and Europe's largest Transformers convention. If you're a fan of Transformers toys and Transformers merchandise and meeting artists, voice actors, live action actors and all the rest from the Transformers films and franchise, this is definitely a convention for you. Even if you're not necessarily as into Transformers, but maybe you know you kind of just want to give it a go, see what it's all about, I would definitely recommend trying it and seeing what the con's all about, seeing if it's your kind of vibe. So diving straight into it and looking at the guests, this is my first time having a proper look at everything. So there's names that I know that are kind of going to be there, the usual sort of suspects and people, but this is my kind of first time having a proper little look at everybody going. So let's have a little look. Alex Milne, Andrew Wildman, classic artists that always tend to go there. Great to see those guys. I just don't necessarily know tons of their work. Ed Perry, Jeff Senior, Jack Lawrence, Mr. Jack Lawrence. I feel like every year I have a tradition of meeting Jack Lawrence on like the Saturday or the Sunday night, so long may that continue. James Roberts, Jim Sorensen, John Paul Bove, Nick Roche, Simon Furman. Again, all classics, all to do with the IDW and kind of the G1 sort of side of it all. But the big ones this year that I always really love to go and see are the actors. And this year, of course, we have Mr. Darren Norris making his debut at TFNation, the voice of Knockout from Transformers Prime. Also voiced characters in Transformers Earthspark and Robots in Disguise 2001. So yeah, pretty cool. Definitely also want to meet him for the sake of meeting Knockout. A very, very cool character and going to be a very cool guy to meet. Jessica Carroll, the voice of Elita 1 from Transformers Cyberworld. I haven't seen loads of like the more sort of recent shows with stuff like Cyberworld, Earthspark. Again, another actor from Transformers Cyberworld is Mr. James Alexander, who voiced Megatron, Grimlock, Snarl, Chop Chop and Galvatron, all from Transformers Cyberworld. Maybe you need to go ahead and give the show a little go. Maybe you need to watch a little bit before the weekend, brush up on it a little. As I said, as we're recording this, it's like, what is it now, like 9:30 on Monday, and I'm working tomorrow, but I might maybe try and get an episode or two in just to kind of see a little bit of their work, see what the show's all about. But of course, the big artist that we're all really looking forward to is Mr. Vince DiCola making his debut at TFNation. Vince did the composing and the songwriting for Transformers the movie and for Rocky IV as well. And on the Saturday night, Vince is also doing a very cool concert, which, yes, I have bought the tickets for, and I believe as of now, they may or may not have just about sold out on them, but there may be a few, so I would definitely go check that out if you do want to see Vince live. which segues nicely into the whole program for the year. So I'm looking forward to kind of seeing what's actually going to be going on this year. Obviously, so the convention starts on the Friday and then continues through to the Sunday. Last year I did kind of do a bit of a full rundown of everything that was going on from the Friday to the Sunday, but ended up cutting loads of bits out. So I'm just going to have a little flick through and see some of the highlights. The convention officially kicks off at 11 o'clock on the Friday, where they do a big Today at TFNation, explaining everything that's going to be going on through the day and talking about the weekend. Chris Carr's got a panel on at 3 o'clock called A History of Animation, which basically looks to be kind of him running through how the Transformers cartoons have been animated over the years. Normally I don't really kind of tend to do loads on the Friday, purely because like Friday's a little bit of like a social, bit of a catch-up day. The Friday, you know, we kind of tend to do our own sort of thing, but there is a few cool bits and pieces going on there. The Legend Experience with Darren Norris and Vince DiCola is also going on at that point. And also, of course, we also have the Matrix quiz test at 6 PM on the Friday night. But for myself, Matt, Tash, Tom, Izzy, all the whole crew, we all tend to do our own little quiz on the Friday night in the bar area. Tasha, once again, will be throwing in another big Transformers quiz for all of us. We say normally kind of tend to do our own sort of thing on a Friday night, but if you do see us on Friday in the bar area around sort of 6 o'clock, maybe 7 o'clock or so, we'll be doing our quiz. So if you do see us, come say hello, and maybe we'll even test a bit of your Transformers knowledge. I know that I've been brushing up a little bit on some of the different like early 2000s and movie sort of stuff to kind of see where my head's at after being scrambled with the second year at uni. The Saturday kicks off at 9 AM with the opening ceremony, and the Trade Hall officially opens for early access at 9:45. If you're like me, you'll have gone ahead and got the general access for 10:45. Got to be brutally honest, I do find the cost for the early access, you know, it's quite a lot more just to get in there an hour earlier, and I would rather just kind of save a little bit of that money and put it into something else. But if you do want to get in there early, it's 9:45. There's more panels and all the rest going on the Saturday if that is your thing. Scott Brownlee's doing a panel at 11 AM. And then it says just at noon, Jessica Carroll's also got a panel. Nick Roach is doing one at 1 o'clock. And the Legend Experience for Vince DiCola, who's also on again at 1 o'clock. Now, one panel that I might actually sitting on, Mark from the Blockies crew drops in to give us the latest on the ever-growing army of Transformers. I wouldn't mind maybe hearing a little bit about what the Blockies guys have to say about all the stuff that they do. I feel like I've become a little bit of a sucker for... I feel like I've become a bit of a sucker for the Blockies figures over like the last sort of few years or so. I kind of went from seeing them as a little bit of a gimmick to seeing all the different ones that they were doing and thinking, actually, I kind of love these guys, so I might check that one out. The Trader Hall officially closes at 5 PM when the Club Con begins at 6 o'clock. 10 past 6 we have the Pretenders cosplay, where all the different Transformers fans take to the stage to show off their mech costumes, their humanised costumes, their duos, their trios, whatever they've kind of gone ahead and done. Everybody will be sent in something on the evening, so I'm very much looking forward to that. And on the topic of cosplay, you know the drill, the Nest costume is coming out of retirement. It's been tucked away for a little while, we've got to get it out one more time. I've made some upgrades to it though. I've got some gloves, some elbow pads and some knee pads and bits and pieces for it, and potentially maybe a new weapon for it, we shall see. I'm also planning on doing a bit of a humanised Constructicon cosplay, which I haven't got a photo of it to hand yet, purely because it's not really quite done yet. But yeah, we'll be debuting like a humanised Constructicon group. I think we're going to be doing it on the Friday and maybe the Sunday as well, so stay tuned for more on that. We have the live script reading at 7:30 on the ClubCon evening, and then we also have the musical performance for Vince DiCola, which the doors open at 9 o'clock, and then I think the concert officially kicks off at 9:30 in the evening, so that'll be pretty cool. On the Sunday, the Trader Hall opens at 10 o'clock. James Alexander's doing a panel talking about Transformers Cyberworld. And yes, maybe I will try and watch an episode or two. Loads of different panels and bits and pieces going on during the day. And the dealer hall officially closes after, say, buying Transformers, meeting people, getting all your autographs, all that jazz. The hall officially closes at 4 PM with the closing ceremony kicking off at a much later time actually, at 5:45, which is nice because that kind of gives us all a little bit of time to go back to the hotel, get freshened up, get some food, and just kind of chill and just vibe a little bit before the final end of the convention. So for the final part of the video, I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of a, just a little bit of a tips and suggestions portion for the video for guys who have never been to the convention before, or maybe you're doing your first full weekend, just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of what you're getting into. So as I say, me and my friend group, we're all going to be doing the Thursday to the Monday, which for a lot of people I know might seem like overkill, but we like to kind of get there early-ish on the Thursday afternoon, have a little bit of a chill, have a bit of a vibe, unwind. You know, we all live in like loads of different parts across the country, so it's nice to kind of see each other. And it's kind of nice as well to stay the Sunday night, you know, just so then on the Monday you're not in as much of a rush. So we like to kind of plan it out like that. So while it might be a little bit too late in the you know, the week to kind of be thinking about something like that, obviously with booking hotels and all the rest, I would definitely maybe take that in mind. You might go there this year, you might maybe be getting there on like the Friday and leaving on the Sunday. And you might maybe be thinking, oh yeah, maybe that might be an idea. So that's a little bit of food for thought if you want to kind of like make a little bit more of a longer weekend of it. I mean, you know, Thursday to Monday is basically making the best part of a week of it. So, you know, it's up to you in that sense, but that's kind of how we like to do it. I've only got tickets for the Saturday, the Club Con, Vince DiCola performance, and then the Sunday. This convention has got to be what you want of it. We don't really tend to do loads on the Friday. As I say, we kind of like to also take that as a bit more of a chill day, do our own quiz, do our own kind of thing. There's loads of bits and pieces on and around the NEC as well. You know, with Resorts World, there's like a gaming arcade, there's loads of restaurants, a little bit of shopping too. And in terms of the guests, as I say, there's comic artists there, there's live action performers that come to the convention, there's voice actors that go to the convention, there's writers, there's musical composers. We've had Stan Bush there before. So go there and meet who you want. A lot of the guests, sometimes it's a case of you maybe get one free autograph, then you have to pay, like if you're buying a print there. Foolishly, it was the other day when I kind of thought I was pretty organised, I thought to myself, I haven't got a print for Darren Norris to sign, I haven't got something for Vince DiCola to sign, so I will have to fork out for them, unfortunately. Sometimes they do tend to cost a little bit more, so just bear that in mind. So take a decent amount of cash, I would say. Don't go overboard, spend what you want, enjoy it what you want. I would maybe say take a mixture of cash and funds as well. Just because some places are cash only, sometimes the card machines go down, blah blah blah. There's always things kind of, you know, happen there, so always bear that in mind. Take plenty of clothes, take plenty of aftershave, take plenty of sprays. It gets very, very hot in there, it gets very, very sweaty and clammy. I have a bad feeling we might end up having a heat wave, so bear that in mind. It does get quite hot in there, but most of all, go there, enjoy it. It's a lovely community, it's a lovely franchise to be a part of. It's a lovely world and little like pocket of pop culture to kind of, you know, go there and venture into. It's not like a lot of the big conventions, you know, with ones such as MCN and MegaCon and all these other big cons. It's a lot more sort of small scale, community focused. Just have the confidence to kind of, you know, go up to people and spark up those conversations. Ask them about, you know, if they're looking at a toy that you know, ask them about their cosplay. There's different cosplaying events. I believe it'll be Mid and kind of his whole crew will be throwing like a little cosplay meet. I think they're actually doing one on each of the days. I could be wrong. But I know that Mid does do a cosplay meet by the waterfront, at least on like the Saturday and the Sunday. So that'll be a good one if you want to go there and meet other cosplayers. But it's a lovely community, it's a lovely franchise to be a part of. It's making its 10-year anniversary this year, and everybody's messaging me now. Since 2016 this has been going on. Obviously before that it was Auto Assembly. I've been going there, bar the COVID years, since 2012 for Auto Assembly. So I say, you know, this will be like my 10th year at TFNation, and then like kind of technically, you know, I've only done 8 years because there was 2 years where they were kind of doing bits on for COVID, but I didn't really end up doing much of that. But yes, go there, give it a go. If you're having any second thoughts or any doubts about it, I would genuinely at least just go ahead and go for maybe like the Saturday or the Sunday. Do what I did with Auto Assembly, go for a day, maybe do the same next year, or maybe next year just go, do you know what, to hell with it, I'm going for the full weekend. You're going to love it, you're going to have a great time. I cannot wait to see you all there. I'm going to round this video out, probably a bit of a short one this time. You say that I'll have like about 20-30 minutes of footage, but never mind. Be sure to check out my vlog on last year, my very, very late vlog. I also did one for 2024, so go check them out to get a little bit more of an idea of what the convention is going to bring. Write a list, pack plenty of stuff, pack plenty of snacks, and go get yourself ready, because guys, TFNation is happening in a matter of days. I love you all, stay safe, safe travels, and I will see you on the weekend.